Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Root podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back with another film review. Today, we are going to take a look at G20. This is a
Yeah.
film on Amazon Prime Video. We're not going to go to the IMDb
You
because
don't even bother, man. Don't even
we're
bother.
not even going to bother, yo. This joint was completely goofy. G20, it's on
It was.
Amazon Prime Video. And
Yes.
I don't know what to say about this video. I don't know what to think. I'm sorry, not this video. I don't know what to think about this film because it's
Mm.
Viola Davis is in it. She actually, you said she produced it. She bought the script,
Yeah, she
huh?
produced it. She bought the script and she
Okay.
produced the movie.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is her joint, and she's playing the president.
this
It's
is a problem.
G20.
I've watched too many action movies with the president, and
Yeah.
then I've actually been around the president before. I've seen one close.
Mhm.
Unlikely. any of the events of this movie could happen. Unlikely.
Yeah.
Hot far-fetched is the best term I could use for any of this stuff to happen. Like we were talking about this offline. The first thing that's far-fetched is that the president's daughter could just climb out of the White House and just go down the street and go to a party. Unlikely.
Yeah.
Unlikely.
See, that's
That
goofy, you know.
yeah, see, you're going to a summit in another country, and no other country has their own army personnel and their top secret service people. I've seen this is the thing. I've seen a clip of Putin and Xi Jinping and the Secret Service behind these two guys talking at a summit.
Mhm.
And the clip is funny because the Secret Service guys know each other for both for China and
Yeah.
Russia,
Mhm.
and they see each other and like, "What's up?"
Mhm.
Yeah, and that was it. But
Yeah.
there's a bunch of them back there. There wasn't just one guy just
No.
doing everything by himself. And there was like 5 army guys in a hotel room, and like, oh, we got blown up. That's the end of our service. Like, here's the thing: if that happened, immediately the army, whatever base is down
It'd
in the
be
area,
done.
would have sent
Over.
fighter jets down there
Yep.
immediately.
Over. Mhm.
Helicopters popping out. These guys wouldn't even had time to set up.
She's
By the time you blew up these guys, 5-10 minutes later, these dudes are there.
well,
A,
here's the other
a
thing.
platoon of
Yeah.
dudes have been there.
Here's the other thing. In situations like that, right?
Mm.
You actually have just the force that came with her at that location, right? Generally, what
Yes.
happens is you have a secondary force, at the plane, at the airport, just
Thank
waiting,
you.
or
Yes.
someplace
Just
else,
chill.
just
Like
waiting, just in case if
five,
something pops
five, 10 minutes
off.
away.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
5-10 minutes away. They can get their helicopter extra quick.
Yeah, because she was talking about like, hey, the closest
They're like
thing is like
hours
3 hours
away.
away. Like, really?
What?
Excuse me. I'm like, really?
What?
And so here's the other thing, right? There are some
Mm.
we've had presidents um that have served in the military. Remember
Yeah.
George Bush, the first one. He was like,
Mhm.
a pilot, and he also served as like the head of the CIA. So he had a
Yeah,
lot of
that's what I was about to
experience.
say. He's the CIA.
You know what I'm
He's had
saying? George
experience.
Washington, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Abraham
there's a
Lincoln,
lot
all
of
these people, right?
presidents. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of presidents that were in the army, served in it, or they're close adjacent to the army. You
Right,
could say, like, hell, even JD Vance was in the army. Like,
right,
let's say, like,
exactly.
it's a regular thing that people would be in the army
Yeah.
that they know what they're doing. So, like, I mean, like, the concept was fine
Mm.
on paper. Execution was ass. Like,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was nah.
trash
Listen, I mean,
across the board.
so she okay, so she served, but really not served, not combat, not like the front lines, right? And so here
Yeah,
she
because
is,
women in
all
the
of
army it's not how they make it in the movies. Women in the army are at a desk somewhere. They're not shooting things.
well,
That's not.
they do have
It,
in America they do have female
no, they,
fighter
yeah, they have
pilots,
them, but like,
yeah,
I mean, like on the ground because she's artillery. She'd be on
yeah,
the ground. That's not a
yes.
thing.
So she basically said that she was in the army, she really didn't do anything. So all of a sudden, dude, she has all of these
Yes,
powers. She's like flipping guys over. She's shooting people in toes. She shot a guy in
yeah,
his big
accurate.
toe.
She's super accurate.
Yeah.
Unlikely.
I mean, but you know what? I'll tell you this here though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Here's the thing. Before we say anything, I
what?
know we sound like a bunch of sexists, all right?
Mhm.
I realize that. I appreciate that, all right? We're not sexist. We love women. But
This was a dumb
all
movie.
of the things in this movie was
It's dumb.
it's
It's
like, oh,
dumb.
you don't even have to see. We're talking about real life things that we've experienced that we know
Yeah.
we understand about.
Mhm.
Forget all that action movie stuff. Just the silly action movie stuff. Unlikely. Unlikely that the RFD tags is enough to do like you know what, when she plugged into the satellite to get messages out. I was like, well, I mean, technically that's possible, but you don't have the right tools to do that.
I
What you
mean,
do?
dude, listen, she said, I can climb up the utility pole to like get some equipment that's up there that I can use to use a very old band, like just a band to, sort of communicate on. And I'm just like, that's what oh
How
my
would you
goodness, is
know to
like, dude.
connect the protocol to the who you're going
Like,
to?
dude, can
Like,
we give this
what?
girl a job? Because right now she's a super duper tech person. She's the next Bill
Yes,
Gates, the next Tim Cook. She's the next
right?
everything.
Just give her some billions of dollars. Just get started with her, whatever she's doing. Like, what? Okay, here's the thing. How would she know what the army protocol is? Like, just for like the DNS code,
But
whatever.
before
Like,
you
just
go on, we're talking about the girl.
okay.
This is not the president. This is the girl with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
president's
The
daughter.
daughter, that
Okay,
sneaks
so
out
go
the White
ahead. Go
House. Like,
on.
okay,
Go on. Mhm.
how would she know what the passwords and the protocols are to get
Yes.
to talk directly to the army? Because she
Right.
didn't. Right? You know what I'm saying? You just can't send the email to the army and it's gonna go to the right person. Like you need to know extra stuff. You got firewalls, you got encryption, you got a bunch of things you need to get to know what their protocol is for communication. Unlikely
Yeah.
that you would know that.
Yeah.
And it's absurd to even pretend like she would know that. That's ridiculous. She doesn't have any experience. Yeah, I don't even think her mother would know what that protocol is
No,
to talk to other army personnel like that. That's
the
ridiculous.
the lack of realism in this
Yes,
movie
this will bother
is
me because
it's
like
like
immediately when you're watching it, it just takes you out of like, oh, that's ridiculous. Like,
yeah. Mhm. So I'm just like, okay, so she's in here. So they're at like a G20 conference in South Africa. All of these
yes,
major leaders in the free
hmm
world, right? They
but
came
no
to South
security.
Africa with security, in a real world. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying?
yeah, in
Right?
the real world,
Yeah.
every country has security.
Right.
Every
And
country,
they come with it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They
and
come
they
with
come
it.
with it like
Right.
because the thing, G20 is it's an important thing that a lot of people don't like. So you
See.
have like activists and stuff like that would have been there. So
Right.
like you know what I'm saying that's why they have their own security because I wouldn't say it's hostile, but like you would have friction from the people in that host nation country.
Yeah.
Like guaranteed there will be protesters at wherever they're at and they would have to have them way, way, way back in the back. So if anybody
Miles.
started to pop off, there you get blasted immediately. Like
Right.
they
Mhm.
don't even care. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, every country would have had at least like minimum 20, 30 people.
Yeah.
Every country.
Minimum. That's minimum for real.
Minimum.
So you know
But you
what?
only see maybe two of them, but there's people there.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. So like really quickly, so this movie, the G20, so all these leaders are in
Mhm.
South Africa for this G20 meeting, and the G20 meeting gets hijacked because these people are angry. And here's the other thing, right?
They want Bitcoin.
So that this
Right.
is what so that is there were two things that struck me so ridiculously, right? One is we
Mhm.
see this movie and they're gonna kill. This is how
Mhm.
fanatic crypto can be, it seems like, because you hear this stuff. We would just watch and mint it. It's the same thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
it's just
yeah,
like
yeah, for sure.
these guys
Yeah.
were doing all of this stuff here, right? I mean, they
Mhm.
killed two leaders, right? They
Yes. Yeah, they killed those the South Korea
and
and
then
somebody
someone
else.
else, right? And then
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
so they were tanking the global financial markets so that they can make
Using AI.
right. So that they can make a lot more money in Bitcoin. Think about that, right? And then when
Yes.
it was all
Yeah.
said and done, all they had was, and I know I'm just saying all they had, but all they had was $150 billion, right? I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it's so silly. It's just like, okay, you went through all of this, and he had the
Mhm.
wallet in his hand too, which looked like an old school two-way pager. You know, I was like, this joint is
Yeah, yeah,
huge,
yeah,
right?
yeah. He's a sidekick.
Right. I'm serious. Exactly. Right. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. So they're doing all of this for Bitcoin
Mhm.
as if
Yes.
the FBI doesn't have tools, or the Israelis or the French or the Germans or the Russians or the Chinese don't have tools where they can claw back money from crypto wallets. Remember, there was a huge hack with one of the oil refineries in New Jersey, and they were like, yo,
And they got
well,
that money back. I remember that.
the
They got that
FBI,
money
they
back.
went in, and it was like, listen, it's on a blockchain. All this stuff is right there. It's right there, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was
But
a
that's the other
really
thing with trading crypto, like the information is available. Like it's not hidden.
I see it,
That's the whole point of it. Yeah, that's
yeah,
the
it's
point.
on a blockchain, right? You can go to like ETH or, Bitcoin and look at the blockchain. Now,
Yeah, yeah.
there was nothing interesting about this, nothing at all that was interesting about this movie, except one
Mhm.
thing. There was one thing that blew me away.
Okay, what is that one thing?
Okay.
Yeah.
So when they finally got into the conference room of the G20 meeting,
Mhm.
and then the guy locked
Mhm.
all the doors, and he was like, okay, he brought all of them in so that they can
Mhm.
read a message, right?
Yes. Yes.
And then when the Korean guy came up, the South Korean, he was like, I'm not reading that. Why not? He was like, this is pangram, right? And I'm just like, duh.
Mhm.
I was like, did he just? And then I was like, and then I put on like I put on the subtitles, and I was like, yes, he said
Mhm.
pangram, right? And I'm just like, yo,
Mhm.
that's real. That's real technology,
Yeah, I
right?
know
That's
it's
right.
real. I know
Yeah.
it's real.
And so I'm just like, and when they were showing it, and I was just like, wow, that was some realism right there, right? That was
Mhm.
really on point, kind of scary too, how they were showing it. They were just like, she was all beat up and she like read the message. And then you saw
Yeah,
how
yeah,
they
they
just
made a new
morphed it
AI
together
brace
for
face
real,
and
you
everything
know?
clean.
And,
But
and see,
that's where we are with AI right now. Like technically,
right.
you can do that.
Oh yeah. So and see, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like, look at some of the just look at some of the rah-rah stuff that's going on in society all
Mhm.
over the world, right? Crypto, how
Yeah,
people
yeah.
just go crazy over crypto. It's just like, really?
Mhm.
Really? What are we doing
Well,
with can I
because you
can I buy a
here's the
house with
thing.
crypto? And let me just say this. And the other thing
Yeah,
is,
yeah, 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 yeah.
you have crypto, and then you have deep fakes, right? And I'm just
Mhm.
like, deep fakes, I mean, like, AI is going to do some fabulous things, like for
Mhm.
humanity, for the world, everything. But then there are going to be those actors who use crypto and who use AI and deep fakes to do things just to profit, and like, and watch other people suffer. So,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
aspect of the movie was kind of weird, but I did like that pangram stuff, and I was just like, oh, say
Yeah,
all
yeah.
these
No,
words,
that was
letters,
interesting.
everything.
But
That was dope, right?
here's the thing.
Mhm.
That part was interesting, and then it lost me when he sent this video out to all the messaging sites and they just posted it. Cause that's not what would happen. The messaging sites would be like account disabled immediately.
Mhm.
The second they figured out what was going on, they would have been account disabled and they would have scrubbed the entire internet this
Oh,
guy's entire life.
right. But you know what? But remember, they were like, dude, the technology was so good because they had to
Mhm.
like read this note. They had to say,
Yes.
first of all, it was
No,
every
but like,
letter in the alphabet, right? And then it
yeah,
was the
yeah.
way, phonetically and everything else, right? And they put it together,
Mhm.
right? And they said
Yeah.
AI would not be able to detect that this is AI.
Yeah, yeah, because you're saying the words, but I'm saying like
Mhm.
Instagram would have been like, no, not today, my friend. You're done today. Like they immediately because we had this happen already,
Mhm.
where all the tech sites got together and decided, oh yeah, we're not putting this out. And so they would have had like a FBI would have called them like, hey, you
This is
shut this
weird.
guy's thing
Right.
down, get
Yeah.
us all the
Good
information, where he's
point. Good
streaming
point.
from, all
Mhm.
this stuff, get everybody's friends,
Mhm.
their friends' friends, their grandmother, get
Good point,
everybody. You
Joe.
shut everybody's thing down immediately. It wouldn't
Good
even
point.
take that long because they do it for shooters, like
Yeah.
school shooters. They put that thing down, scrub the entire that person don't even exist anymore, and
Mhm.
that's during the shooting. So
It was just
I'm just saying, like that for something that high profile, world leaders, they would have maybe got one message through the first thing, and then after that, they would have scrubbed the internet. And they wouldn't be able to post anything from any account.
yeah.
There's no way they would have let them post that up. But
It's
like,
it's
so like.
It's dumb.
The problem is for us, we're
Mhm.
watching because we love technology. Like we're
Yeah.
both, we can say both quote unquote nerds. We like
Yep.
technology.
That
I
was
love
sick
action
too.
movies. I love sport. Like let's say like we got the best of both worlds, like music, sport, everything, right? I've seen enough stuff and I've witnessed enough stuff to know when somebody's writing about something they don't understand. And so like, a lot of stuff that happened in this movie was written from somebody that doesn't know anything.
Nothing.
And so like it's kind of like you did it for plot points, but it takes away from the realism and the idea of what you're trying to do because that's unrealistic or just nonsensical. And like people who watch it that understand anything, it's frustrating watching these things. Like when you're watching like CNN or just some news channel and you start talking about computers, I just pop my head up like, what now? Like that's not how that works.
Right.
You guys don't know anything, do you? Like, and it always happens. Like, when it first happened to me with for computers, after that, like it took me out of any reporting. And for me, it was Y2K. When they started talking about Y2K, I'm like, you guys know anything. And then whoever wrote this thing
People were buying
is on that
eggs.
Y2K level of technology. Like
True.
you heard something about technology and you're like, I'm just going to write a script. Like this makes
Mhm.
sense about the government and
And
technology. Like we're just doing these things. Like the having the Bitcoin in the wallet like that. Like obviously he can just get his wallet again. You think that's the only version this his entire wallet is just
I'm
on this
I'm
card,
quite sure
this
he
thing?
has
He
like
wouldn't
the
have his wallet written down somewhere else?
and you have the passcodes too. You know how they give you like 20 words,
Right.
20 passcodes or some shit, some stuff like
Yeah,
that, you know?
I would have a passcode. I would like go throw that thing off the mountain. I don't care. Like, let's get
Right.
out of
Mhm.
here. What are you doing? I'll just get back in the account like when I get home. Like I don't need this.
You
Like
know, but
it's
you know,
stupid.
deep fakes are like for me, like right now, right? And I don't
Mm,
know how I'm gonna feel about I don't even like the word deep fake, right? But deep fakes right
mm.
now for me are as goofy and dumb as a DDoS attack. Like, why are you doing that?
Yeah,
It's so
yeah,
goofy.
yeah, yeah.
It's like when
Yeah.
they did the first deep fake I saw was like when they did when they slowed down Speaker Pelosi and then she,
Mhm.
sound like she was drunk, and I was just like, that's not Nancy, that's not Speaker Pelosi. I was just like, and then
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and then a DDoS
yeah.
attack, like how like that is the dumbest and
Mm.
stupidest form of a hack or whatever it is you're trying to do,
But
disruption or whatever else. It's so
DDoS
dumb.
But DDoS is like your my first hack kind of thing. That's
Yeah,
like
it's
Fisher
the
Price, my
dumbest
first hack,
thing, it's just
right?
like it's
You
like a
you just got a
fly.
bunch of
Yeah,
bots and send a thing there, and they swat it away and they move on. Like it's like
that
maybe
sort of
if you
stuff
had enough,
disgustes
you
me.
you would need government level computers to take a site down. Like at this point,
Yeah,
there's too many backups and too many redundancies for like it doesn't. It'll maybe slow if a best case scenario slows it down for a little bit.
yeah.
Like anytime you see like an Instagram or Facebook go down, that's some big boy stuff. Like
Yeah,
somebody really high end did something.
anonymous or something,
That's that's not. I'm a high school student and I just
Mhm.
got into my laptop and I just like no, that's not what happened there. Like it's ridiculous.
So,
I so like when you know about this stuff, it makes it hard to watch these kind of things.
right, when
Like
you know about it,
it's
right?
frustrating. Yeah.
Something that I thought was like super predictable. I knew this was going to
Mhm.
happen. So when they were in the kitchen, right, and it was kind of dark, and then they were
Uh,
fighting. The president was
yeah,
fighting one
yeah.
of the terrorists, and I was just like,
Mhm.
they were walking. The terrorist was walking, and he was walking past all these hanging frying pans, right?
Mhm.
And I was like,
It was just a
I said, you know
boop.
what? Someone is going to get hit with a frying pan. And what happened?
I
And it
there
made
is
the
like
noise
5
too, the
moments.
sound.
Yeah, no, there's like 5 moments that I had to stop the movie
Uh,
and just laugh.
that was one of them for
I need
me.
a moment. It was one that was one of them.
Right.
When she picked up the frying pan after talking about the matriarchy and the, you know what I'm saying? Like she's going on talking about all this stuff, how hard she worked. Then she picked up a frying pan. I was like, come on, man.
Dude, and then she
That's too
fried
on the
his face on the
nose.
stove. You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She fried
Yeah,
his
yeah.
face
That
like
was
he was like, oh, I was like, oh my goodness.
it was too on the nose. Like
She
we're doing too
became
much right
so
now.
strong over time, much stronger. It
Yeah,
seemed
yeah,
like
yeah.
every minute she got stronger and stronger and stronger,
She's
right?
the
Which was
Hulk.
it was and even though they were like, yo, this is an hour and 50 minutes, it turned out to be about like an hour and a half, hour and 35 minutes, right?
Yeah, it didn't feel that long because so much ridiculous things was happening, so I
Yeah.
lost track of time.
Mhm.
Like, and it kinda goes, like, when the action starts, it just goes.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
so many silly, ridiculous things were happening at one time that I couldn't stop laughing. Like, I laughed through the whole it was like a comedy. I laughed through the whole movie. There's not a moment where I wasn't laughing. Even when she's like making the face and shooting people with the gun. Like, remember she's in that room and she's trying to do that thing for her daughter, and she shot like 30 people, and then she started crying after. I was like,
Oh,
no,
yo, dude. She
no,
was like, yo, check it out though. She was like, she was really tapping, almost like military.
yeah,
I was like, yo,
yeah. She was like going, but let's
dude,
say
she was
she shot
killing
30 people.
one tap per person
What's
and
that like?
killed them.
Pop, pop,
That's
pop,
it, right? And I was
pop,
just
pop.
like, okay, if she didn't serve on the front line, and while
Mhm.
she was in the military, she actually got wounded, that's what she said, right? And I'm
I'm
like,
pretty sure she's had to kill somebody before. These She would not be sad about this stuff.
right. And
Let's say
so
like
so
an
when
emotional
it's
thing.
she's like, yo, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, right? And she
Mhm.
convinced her, her bodyguard, Manny, who wasn't wearing a vest. That's also kind of interesting too. You weren't she he wasn't wearing a
Don't
vest,
get me
you know.
started on that,
So
man.
so
Don't
listen,
get me started on
when
that.
they decided that, you know what, we're going to do this together, we're going to save people, we're going to rescue people, and we're
Mhm.
going to do this ourselves. We're going to escape. We're going to free
Yes.
ourselves. So she put on the military pants, the military vests, the red shoes. I was like, oh my goodness. Viola
I mean,
Davis.
bro,
What was
that's
the
the thing, I
money
do
part of this
apologize.
here? Mhm.
For any women watching this, I'm sorry. We're not sexist. We're not we love women. But there, there's a lot of things that happen in this movie that I was like, "Oh, come on. Stop. Stop.
Listen,
What are we doing right
you
now?"
don't even have to say anything about sexist because what we do here is we review movies. If they're dumb and
As is.
goofy,
This is how it came to be.
if it's a female in the
Yes.
head, if it's a female lead, a male lead, a crying baby
Mhm.
on a serious show, a crying baby's gonna get flamed.
You gonna catch these L's, right?
Viola
Hey, I'm
Davis
so
kicked
sorry. I'm
butt in A
sorry.
Woman King. That was a dope movie. This movie right here, totally stupid, totally dumb, totally goofy. Viola Davis as the president, now as like, Rambo kicking butt. No, that's
Mhm.
stupid. Yo, go sit down. That's
It's
stupid.
dumb. But like, so here's the
Completely
thing.
dumb.
Why make her into Rambo? Just make her smart. Like she's solving things like MacGyver, but she doesn't, she's not with the bazooka shooting
How about
people.
this, yo,
That would have been
Keo?
a better thing.
MacGyver. Okay, how about this? I got the whole setup right here, right?
Okay, okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're gonna call it G20, right? Viola Davis
Mhm,
is going to be the president. But like you
mhm.
said, what if she was better than like, just a Rambo style? What if she was like a super duper? What if she was a daughter in terms of like geekiness, technology, the whole nine? Like you said, a MacGyver.
Mhm.
That
Yes.
would have been sicker.
Yeah. I don't wanna see Viola Davis with the machine gun tearing down a room full of people. I don't need to see that.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You
I'm
know,
I'm good. Like, calm
a-
down.
and when I
We're
saw
good.
the movie, I was just like, I was talking to my wife about it, and I said, she was asking me, what did I think about
Mhm.
it? I was like, I mean, Viola Davis to me is like, Black Hollywood excellence. She is a rock star. She's a Hall of Famer,
She's a good
period.
actress. She's a
You
great
know,
actress. She's a
and I'm
Meryl
just,
Streep level actress. She's a
yeah.
really good
I
actress.
mean,
I've seen her in a bunch of
she got an
things.
Oscar, right? Yeah, she got an Oscar,
Yeah,
right?
I've seen her in a bunch of
Yeah.
things.
So check this out, right? So I'm just, I was just
Mhm.
like, I was asking, I just said to her, I was like, I don't understand why she did a flick like this. I understand that she produced it and she bought the script, but she didn't have to play the role.
Mm-mm.
But
No.
it's also, but you know what? It's also kind of when you have resources like that, when you're like, you know what? I don't like any of these movies. I'm gonna buy a script and I'm gonna buy a script and put
Yeah, I'm
myself in
gonna
a movie
I'm
and
gonna do it
release it.
myself.
Yeah. And she probably got a lot more money, to actually have bought the script, making money off of that, to act in the script, making a bag
Mhm,
off of that, and also like produce the script, the
mhm.
movie and getting a bag from that. So she's, but this movie, it didn't seem like a Viola Davis type of film. How about that?
Okay, you know what? If it was more thought provoking, and she's debating these world leaders about what to do about the thing, I would have enjoyed that better.
Mhm.
Seeing her fight a guy in an elevator that could throw her across the room, and have her win. Like, ah,
And
like
you know,
it
speaking about
kind
the
of bothered
elevator,
me.
like how does she how does she accidentally step on the door of the elevator on the ceiling and fall down?
It flips up. It doesn't flip down. It's not a revolving door. Like, it goes up. She shouldn't be able to step on it and not go down at all. She'd be good to go. Like
I'm just
that's
like,
all right.
really?
All right.
Like, really? This is it? Okay, and then you had like
uh,
you okay, so the president's daughter, super
mm.
smart. She wasn't a crying kid. Gotta like that. No crying kids in this joint.
Yeah, she had a wise up moment early
Yeah,
in the movie until she was more useful after before she's
right.
pouty, which
Yeah,
is fine. Like you're a kid, you're in high
exactly.
school, you shouldn't be pouting. All right,
But
whatever.
but you know
But like,
the
this is the thing. You know what's
mhm,
funny? Oh,
what?
go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
Gail, what's funny, yo? I want to laugh at something
No, I'm
other than
saying
this
like
movie.
you're in high school, your mom's
Mhm.
president, and you're running your mouth. Where like where's that? You did do that at? You don't have a say. Oh, we're going to South Africa. I don't want to go. You don't have a say.
Like,
You're in high
okay,
school.
you can stay at the White House all weekend by yourself.
Right, right. What are we talking about here? You don't have a say.
Come on.
Like, I'm thinking my mom would have boxed me. Like, I don't want to go with mom and dad. Like,
Oh,
what are you talking about?
like you didn't
Where are
even
you gonna
question
go?
that, I guess there was some like new school sensibilities like Gen Z, even like some of the Gen Alphas, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
no,
that
you
was
know what?
all there,
That
right?
that makes sense when your mom is an accountant
Yeah.
and your mom works at the mall at J.C. Penney.
Right.
That stuff makes sense. When your mom's
Kmart even.
president, you don't
Mhm.
get to do things.
Not president of
I'm
like
gonna walk around
Ford
free because
or
I'm in
president
high
of like,
school.
Georgetown University, president of the United States.
The United States.
Mhm.
You gonna walk around? I don't have to listen to you, mom and dad. Like, no, you don't understand what's going. That's the thing. That I hate movies where they got younger people in there and they don't understand the situation they're in.
Right. Because they're
You
just
know what I'm
being
saying? Like,
young.
yeah, like you're
Mhm.
in the White House now. Oh, you got protocols. Like you, it looks
Mhm.
like you're gonna go see the Queen. You're gonna go to England. You're gonna see the Queen. I'm just gonna walk around Buckingham Palace. No, you're not. Like, that's not what's gonna happen. You gonna sit down and
Imagine
shut up.
imagine so like okay, you're like you're a young Gen Z or Gen Alpha, right?
Yeah.
And all
Mhm.
the, just sort of all the landmines you have to navigate as a young person because now
Yeah.
everything is so instant. It's on like it's online really quickly. It's on social media really
Mhm.
quickly.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
have to deal with that, right? So now
Mhm.
your parent, one of your parents, become president. Yo, that
Mhm.
type of everything is now exaggerated by 1,000 because
Uh,
you're in
1,000.
Washington D.C. now. You're part of the Capitol Hill. You're part of
Mhm.
politics now. It's exaggerated now. Now you have like left wing, right wing people just like trying to find out information
Yeah,
about you,
yeah.
and here you are like sneaking out the White House as if the White House doesn't have like a huge gate around it and
But also,
guards.
here's the other part that's dumb.
Hmm.
You're the president's daughter. There are people trying to kidnap you actively, so they can. You know what I'm saying, like trying to extort the president. Like you're a high value target. You're not sneaking anywhere. You're not doing anything that these guys don't say you can do. You can't even tie your shoe. Like this is absurd that a kid that age, because she's got to be like 17, 16, 17.
No, see, I
There's a
was thinking
kid.
like maybe 13 or 14.
Okay, 14.
Hmm.
You're at an age where you understand. Like they've had to sit her down and be like, "Hey, when you
Yes.
out right now, this is
Hmm.
what you do in emergency. You gotta call this person. They're gonna bring a van for you. Oh, your friend is supposed to take you home, and the Secret Service can't fit in the car. Well, you can't go. Sorry, bro. Like this is saying like there's things you can't do anymore because of the level that you're at.
Yeah.
And so like, oh, I just want to go to a party. Nah, man. Like if you want to go to a party, the entire Secret Service has to fix the room. They got people there. You have people checking where
Excuse
you're
me.
at. Like you say, like they got to do a whole investigation of who's the neighbor, who's your neighbor's neighbor. Like you
Right.
know, saying they're checking your taxes. They're
Hmm.
doing all kind of stuff just for you to go to the house party. Like it's like a ridiculous level of things that you have to go through. So like I get how she's frustrated, she wants to sneak out the house, but she can't sneak out the house. I'm saying like
Yeah.
that's the part that kind of takes away from all this stuff. And like, okay, we're talking about the daughter, the president. Let's talk about the rest of the cast.
The first husband.
Anthony, first husband, Anthony. Well, well, okay, what's going on with him, man? Like he looks different. Is he okay? Like I was gonna say, like he
Yo,
looks wild.
I mean,
Like,
listen,
I've
I'm
seen him. I
gonna
haven't seen him in a minute. Last time I saw him was like Blackish, and you know what I'm saying, he looks completely different to now.
he
Was
he definitely put on a little weight, for sure.
okay,
Um,
okay.
the thing about what's his last name again? Anthony.
Is it and
Let me
no?
find
I was
out
gonna
right
say
now.
Edwards. That's a basketball player.
I was about
Anthony
to.
Anderson. Anderson.
Yes, let me see. Let me see. Yep, Anthony Anderson. Okay, the thing about Anthony Anderson
Mm.
is, um, like, have you seen him in anything that you sort of liked? Like, really?
And this is no disrespect to him.
We don't have
I
to say
don't.
that,
I'm not a
dude.
big
For
fan of
real, this is
him.
what we do.
I'm not a fan of his comedy wise, movie wise. I don't really watch his stuff.
Yeah.
I thought Blackish is the only thing that I've seen that he was in that that was on like on TV or
Mhm.
movies or whatever. Like it was I think it's a TV show. It's like ABC.
How old is Anthony
I didn't really watch it for
Anderson?
him. I can't. I'm racking my brain for Anthony Anderson whatever content. I don't know, man. I don't really watch him. And I don't know. I honestly, I haven't really kept up to his day to day going ons.
Yeah, he's 54
Uh,
years old. I mean, the only person that was quite in like, I mean, Elizabeth Marvel, I like her. She was in like Homeland. I think she's
mhm.
kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so
Okay,
that's a
yeah.
really good question. Like, what have you seen? Like,
I
what has
haven't. That's the thing.
right,
I haven't.
exactly. So when you see him, it's like you already know what it is. You know what
Yeah,
it is. You know what you're getting. And so for him to try to do something different, I understand that you want to expand your
yeah. I
horizons
respect that.
creatively, the whole nine, right? But it's just like,
Yeah,
I mean, I guess he worked
I don't
for
know.
it,
Like,
I mean, but not really because I mean, he was also like, I mean, he basically body slammed one of these guys. I'm like, it's almost like these terrorists
mm,
aren't like, remember like remember like when they used to when all these like in the news when they used to talk about like Osama bin Laden and they used to always show
yeah.
they used to always show
Oh,
his
the
men
Chucky
training,
doing stuff
doing the
with it.
monkey bar.
Yeah, doing monkey bars. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
That's what I was about to
I'm
say.
like,
Like, that's what I
I'm
look
like,
like. I for
as if these terrorists don't work out and train, right?
Yeah, for elite group of specialists that were
Right.
in the army and they think of their top level, they suck. 'Cause you gotta think about this, right? Only person who killed anybody in this movie that was from that group was Homelander. Like Rutledge, whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah.
That's the only person that did any bit damage. Everybody else was useless. They all got bodied in their own right, or they did nothing, and the president shot them, or somebody else shot them, but they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like the kids got past these guys. These like they're supposed to be elite level people because you can't just bring. Oh, my friend Bob, I work out with him at the gym sometimes. He can come with me to South Africa. We're going to take over the president. Like you can't take people like that.
Mhm.
You're taking top level people that you trust. They're talking Mission Impossible level people that you trust that are at a high level, top of their guard, top of their class, top of whatever. They have a bunch of awards and medals for in line of duty. These guys, I've never seen a bumbling group of mercenaries in my entire life
They're
for
like,
movie
come on.
wise. They did nothing. They were
Absolutely.
useless.
I mean, they were big, muscular, the whole nine, but Anthony Anderson was beating these guys up the whole nine. But what,
Bro.
here's something about the villain, right? The main
Yeah.
villain. Remember when
Mhm.
we did Devil May Cry and I was just telling you about the rabbit? Like, dude, why are you laughing and doing all this? Like, yo, if you want to be a villain, just be a villain. You don't have to like talk all this smack. You're gonna
Yeah.
kill someone, just kill him, right? Yo, this
Yeah. Because like here's the thing. You
mhm,
have a room full of husbands and wives
yeah.
and top level
Heads of
people.
states,
Like
exactly.
there's lots of people you could have been like, pop, pop, pop. All right, you gonna
Yeah.
read this thing or not?
Yeah.
Like,
And he killed
lots of
two
people he could have
people,
done that with.
and that's what I'm saying. He was just like
Yeah.
quick with it. He was like, he was like, oh, you don't want to read it? Bam, that's it. He was quick with it. He's not
Yeah.
like playing with them, torturing him and all that stuff. It's just like, so if you're gonna be a villain like that in a movie, in a film, in a TV series, just get to it.
Mhm.
That's the
Yeah,
thing
I don't
about films. It's
it's
just
too
so
much.
much
I feel
goofiness in
like
between.
yeah, for movies and stuff like today, I think there's too much eyebrow and mustache twirling and just
Yeah.
silliness of like,
Mhm.
if you're a bad guy, just be a bad guy. Let me know you're bad. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you gotta set the tone of, oh, I can't mess with this dude. We gotta be very concerned about what's going on here. Cause like you're supposed to add the tension. Like when he's in the room, I didn't feel anything. Like when he's on The Boys, the TV show The Boys, and he's doing stuff as Homelander, I'm like, oh, this guy is a problem.
Mhm.
In this movie, I was just like,
He
"Oh,
was
that's
kind of
hilarious. Look at his
subdued, right?
accent, man.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a
His
minute.
fake Aussie accent."
He's American,
No,
English.
is he American? I thought he's English.
Let me see
I
here.
don't know. He's in the, I know I've known him from The Boys and a couple other things. He's like, I've seen him in a bunch of other stuff.
Okay, let
I
me see
think
here. What's his
I
name?
think he's British. Damn, I can't remember his name. I
Anthony
just know he
Starr,
plays
Rutledge.
Homelander in The
Anthony
Boys.
Starr.
Yeah, Anthony Starr. Is he
Anthony
British?
Starr. No, New Zealand. He's a New
New
Zealander.
Zealand. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. I know he had a fake accent because I could tell you're not American. When I watch these shows, I'm like, you're not American. Like, come on, man. You're not American. You can tell.
Yo, and the other thing, they airbrushed the they airbrushed the mess out of in the key art, the movie key art, the way they have like Viola Davis. I'm like,
Oh,
oh, they airbrushed the mess out of her, yo, for real. I'm like, yo, but you know what? So yeah, the movie was the film, there was nothing redeeming about
absurd.
it at all.
It was
It was
absurd.
goofy. It was absurd. Um,
Yeah.
I'm glad that a film like that was released. You have to thank you just have to thank someone for releasing a film like that, like on a streaming
Mhm.
service that you're paying for. I mean, they're still getting paid, and
Is
not
it,
put this joint in a
had I
movie. She would
paid
it would be
money,
completely
yeah,
embarrassing.
had I paid money for this, I would have flipped over stuff, man. In the theater,
Like in the
I would have been
theater.
throwing things. I'm like, yo,
You'd have been flipping up the
like
chairs
I'm
that have
King
bolted to
Kong
the
in
ground,
here,
like,
man. I would have flipped things over.
oh!
Oh hell no! I need restitution, man.
You ever see those
I'll
like
pay.
old school cartoons when something goofy is happening and they start hitting their head on the wall and whatnot on the metal, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's what
I
I'd
would
be
have been
doing.
hot if I paid money for this. Yeah, it would been. I would been hot. I've been very hot. Like, there's no way. There
What if
is
there
no
was a
way
sequel? Would you entertain watching a sequel?
for jokes. Maybe like I would have to be high. Like I need something like an
you know,
edible, a
like
mushroom, shrooms. Like I need something.
like a mushroom,
I need
an
something
edible, and a
strong.
blunt.
Yeah. I need to feel something, man. Like
All
I
at
need something
once.
strong. Yeah,
Everything
at the
everywhere,
same
all
damn
at
time,
once.
man.
Oh my goodness, yo. This one, this one, okay, so it also we're gonna wrap this up, but dude, it took me 4 days to
Mm.
watch this film.
Yeah, it took me a minute. It took
Yeah.
me a minute.
I was like, no jive. And I was like, I watched 20 minutes and I was like, I can't. And then
Mhm.
I watched like, maybe 10 or 15 minutes here. And then I watched 30 minutes and I put it all together
Mhm.
and I'm just like, wow, this is,
It
yeah.
was tough sledding, man. I'll
Mhm.
say that. It was very tough sledding. It was rough. Cause like I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, fine, we're just getting to this movie. Oh, that's ridiculous. And then something more ridiculous what happened after that. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, come on. How long is this movie? I just I kept pausing it to see how much more time is left. I'm like, how long is this
Oh,
movie?
one other thing, right? These guys are on
Mhm.
regular, schmegular, normie Wi-Fi, in the whole building. It's just like there's no one brought in like a closed system. Like this is closed, no one has access to
Bro.
this, only people inside. Come on.
Yeah, like your next door neighbors could pop onto your system and see
Right.
what's going on with the stream. Like, no, come on, man.
It's
'Cause especially in the
There
U.S.
was some
government, they
gaps
would have a
here.
thing just for them,
Yeah.
going off satellites that no one has access to. Come on.
There was some real creative writing gaps here for sure with this movie G20.
They had to
Um,
explain a lot, and they had
yeah,
to explain it with crazy writing gaps. Like they
yeah,
had to fix things
for real.
like that, like the doors. You can't get into like. All right, we go on forever. We keep talking about this.
Yeah.
We
We are
can't. There's
we
lots of dumb things in here.
this movie is goofy. We are talking about G20. It's available on
Mm.
Amazon. Go check it out. Keo, what are you going to rate G20? And
Okay,
be
for a movie with
honest.
no redeeming factors, I give it a 1.5. And the point 0.5 is because they did the deep fake thing, and I was like, "Oh, that's kinda cool."
Mhm.
But after that, I'm like, "Ah, you guys don't know how Bitcoin works. You don't know how, like, anything works. This is a tough sledding." And then, the president shooting everybody like she's Rambo.
Rambay.
Ah,
No, 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 not Rambo,
Ram
Rambay.
Ramba,
Rambay, you know?
Rambay. Like, I
You
just
know?
there's lots of stuff. Like, there's things that you're watching. Like, if you watch any here's the thing. If you've never seen an action movie before and you watch
Mhm.
this, you'll be like, "Oh, that's interesting." If you know anything about anything, this is tough sledding.
Yeah,
It's tough go. It's a very tough go. Like, how the elevators work, how how you're fighting people in the kitchen, and the staff are just gonna watch you fight. Like, they're not gonna help. They're just not
it's
gonna do
dumb.
anything. There's so many gaps in logic and just ridiculous things they're just it hurts your head when you're watching this, that you're just like, how, why, how, what's happening right now? Like, it's a lot of that. So it's tough to go through. I'll put it like that. It's
Yeah.
very tough.
Yeah. You know what? I'm giving it a 1.5 as well for the same exact reason because of the deep
Mhm.
fake. That's it, right?
That was
Check this.
cool.
That was cool, right? So check this out.
Mhm.
Generally, we'll watch a film and we're just like, yo, you know what? Oh, it looks so beautiful. Even though, like, I mean, we may have given it a 5 or a 6, right? Yo, this film didn't even look great visually.
Yeah, it did. Visually, it was kind of like meh. You know
It
what?
was,
It's taupe. It was just a beige wall.
yeah, exactly. I was just like,
It
this
was
joint,
khakis. This
it
was
does
khakis.
this joint, I mean, literally, conceivably, this joint could have been shot
Mhm.
on like some iPhone 16s. For real, literally.
It just looked like whatever.
I
There's no
mean,
no angles. There's
no
no like
lighting
special
was needed.
shots.
You never saw anything like in a town or the city, when we were watching
Yeah.
Den of Thieves 2, Pantera, how beautiful that was, and it's just like there was
Mhm.
nothing about this. It was like we're in South Africa. It's just like, no, we're South Africa. Where's Cape
No,
Town? I don't see
this was
anything.
we're in South Africa. All right, take our word for it. Let's go to this hotel.
Right,
Like, that's what that
exactly.
was.
So I'm like, yeah, so it didn't even look well. It wasn't visually, it just didn't look great. So 1.5 for
Mhm.
me, 1.5 for Keo. The
Mhm.
thing that, we were interested in or not even interested in, but the thing that sort of caught our eye was like the deep fake technology that they displayed. But other than that, it's on
Yeah.
Amazon. If you want to go check out G20, good luck. Well, there you have it. Thanks for checking out another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.